Hope everybody's having a good day. It's nice to meet you. I'm Christina, KRISTINA. This is the DORI's book series. This is where we read books and talk about books. No special effects going on here, no theme music, none of that fancy schmancy stuff here. Just what you see is what you get. Me reading books and talking books. And I should start putting my schedule in the description. I've not done that. I've noticed that other people do that. But just so you know, every single Friday there is a Star Trek recap of Star Trek Next Generation episodes. I am a series person. As you can tell, those are all series up there. And I'm getting ready. In about a month, I'm going to add a slew, add about 200 books to that thing over there. They're going to be stacked up instead of neatly across. But because I've only got 32 bookcases in my house, and the fact that I just gained 200 books, I'm in a desperate. I gave away quite a few books during COVID, and I am desperate to get them all back now. Well, most of them, not all of them, but there's quite a few that I gave away that I'm like, why did I do this? Those were valuable. Emotionally, and I'm just so pissed off at myself. So anyways, and if then on Friday afternoons, if you like this author, then maybe you like that author. And every single Monday, Flashback Monday, where we talk about my favorite magazine. Last time I got a little carried away and did 70 books. So this time we're not doing as many, but today is Flashback Monday. And don't forget my daily book reviews. We are currently doing Alex Cross. I'm doing that every time I do it. James Patterson's Alex Cross series. And Victoria Thompson's Gaslight series, Sarah Brandt and Frank Malloy. And J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood group. Those are the 3 series we're doing right now. And then every once in a while, when one of my authors comes out with a new, then I'm doing a new one. I'm having trouble getting, I need 2 more Alex Crosses. I might have to do them as ebooks. But I think I've got the rest of them after that point. But I'm having trouble with the, I think it's 7 and 8 or whatever. Wolf and something else. Yes, ma'am. How's it going, ma'am? So anyways, this is Flashback Monday, and I'm having a day. I'll probably talk about this again on the If Then podcast, but I was looking for books for this particular If Then, and a relative just recently moved, and they found letters from one relative to another relative that were written about moi when I was 3. And now I have all these questions. The letters raised a few questions, and they're all dead, and I can't ask them. And I had a little moment. And then I was looking for books for this If Then throughout my house, because I have quite a few books for this subject. And I opened the book, and it was for Christina at Christmas, Love Grandma, Grandpa, and I just lost it. I did not remember that my grandparents gave me this book. All right, so it was 50 years ago. Well, not quite. 1990 for Christmas. I was still in my home. I want my home back. I want my childhood home back. I was still there back then. I would love to be doing this from there on the carport. Oh, God, I missed the carport. So, anyways, I need to get back to Flashback Monday. There are 267 books reviewed, and this is August 2010. We started in 2007, so please go and check all those out. I tried an experiment with October 09, I think. I did each section as an individual thing. Boy, did that flop. Huge. So I continue it all as one now. And that took me 24 hours to do it, more than 24 hours. So anyways, August 2010, we will be talking about these when they start getting reviewed. Beatrice Small. Don't forget, we did the Sky O'Malley series by Beatrice Small a few weeks ago. If you think Claire Beecham Frandl Frazier has something, you need to check out Sky O'Malley, because she's 200 years before Sky, and she's got the Sky's 200 years before Claire, should I say? I'm sorry, and she's got something on her. But we will be doing this later. You know? Excuse me. I have 2 copies of the same book. But there's an interview in here with Christine Feehan, and we will be doing the review of her book in a few minutes. She talks about for her new series, Kristen Feehan returns to Sea Haven, home of the Drake sisters, for more paranormal goings-on. For those of you who think you've read everything Feehan has to offer, get ready to be wowed with her unusual heroine, sexy hero, and much more in Waterbound. Waterbound takes place in Sea Haven, the town where your Drake sisters reside. What made the area so appealing to you? I love Northern California coastline. It's unlike any other. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What did I do with your... Oh. Here. That's hers. You will see a short come up. I've done a couple of shorts with the cats, and those have flopped. Literally zero views. The books with the shorts with the books, skyrocketing. The books with the videos with the actual cats plummet. No one has seen them. YouTube has not shown them to anyone. It's weird how that happens. Literally, no one has seen If Cats Could Talk. I preferred the box to the bed you bought, Mommy. And no one has seen that video. It literally got 2 views. I even put it up twice, and it's I'm serious. I don't know what's up with the analytics, but she does a whole series on the sisters. So I'll have to do that one day. We'll do the Carpathians at some point. I guess we love that mouse. Let's see. Of the things that I found intriguing about Waterbound is that Ricky is high-functioning autistic woman. What made you decide to create an autistic heroine, and what were some of the challenges that you faced with writing a heroine with autism? Autism is a growing concern around the world. Certainly my family has been touched by it. Watching a child struggle in a world that is not designed for them is difficult. Therapies developed can really be helpful, but ultimately these children grow into adults who must cope with difficulties, circumstances every day of their life. I believe they deserve happy endings too. And that's what the book is all about. Where's your toy? Oh, it got stuck under the... Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay. Now, I'm going to keep a list because we're going to do hers too. Laura Lippman. We'd know her anywhere. Laura Lippman says her latest release, I Know You Anywhere, in which a woman is contacted by a former kidnapper, is at its heart a book about intimacy, about what it means to know another person. When Lippman is very clear that there was no real friendship between ELOISA and Walter. She says that ELOISA got to know her kidnapper very well, during their almost 6 weeks together. She identifies with his sense of being outside of things, of not being the person who makes things happen. Interesting. Romantic suspense, dark days. We'll have to do a romantic suspense if then. Readers who love romantic suspense may have noticed a troubling trend recently, fewer books being released in their favorite genre. Their pleas for new romantic suspense novels echo those we heard from historical fans a decade ago, and more recently from contemporary romance fans that when their beloved genre shrank significantly. But does the scarcity of new RS books indicate the genre finished? Not by a long shot. Although the future may be somewhat uncertain. Oh, yes. We'll get your toy. We'll get your toy. Yes. Get your toy. I'll get you. Ready? 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3. There you go. She's got it now. Oh, excuse me a second. All right. So I think it has slowed down to some extent, Valentine. Editor Kate Collins says, the market got a little gutted with everyone who seemed to think they could do it, and there were tons of romantic suspense flooding the market. We're now seeing is that people are backing away. I still think it's wildly popular, but people are more selective about their authors they are choosing to read. Vampires rule! Vampires rule! Oh, excuse me. Steampunk and vampire was taken off during this particular time period. Future stars romantic suspense. Shall we go check these authors out? Are they all still writing really good? Shall we go check? Kate Brady, Marie Force, I've seen her books. Cynthia Eden, almost definitely have seen her books. And hers are some of the books that I gave away that I want back. Shiloh Walker, the woman is not going anywhere. There's gazillions of Shiloh Walker books out there. Robin Carroll, Stephanie Tyler, I've seen her books. Kylie Brandt and Leslie Parrish, I've seen theirs too. But Shiloh, Jesus, Stephanie Tyler, she's everywhere. Keeping the Faith, Tanya French, on Love, Limitations, and Loose Ends. One day when she was halfway through writing her second novel, The Likeness, Tanya French was walking home through Dublin and saw a dumpster outside a big Georgian house with a battered old suitcase inside. One of the things about being a mystery writer, the former theater and film actress says, is looking for a mystery everywhere. Through The Likeness was Detective Casey Murdoch's story. French had already realized how much fun she was having writing the character of Frank McKay, the undercover officer who trained Casey, and she looked at the suitcase with an eye to connect it to Frank. Interesting. Summer just got hotter. Check those out. We might do a few of them in here. Linda Howard, Veil of the Night. In her newest thrilling romance, Linda Howard invites us to an elaborate wedding, one in which rings will never be exchanged. Nora Roberts, Sacred Sins. Nora Roberts stirs up a sizzling novel of explosive suspense and sensual romance as the search for a murderer ignites passion between a beautiful psychiatrist and a brooding detective. Maybe Eve Dallas should do some of this, huh? Tempting the Fire, the hottest adventure yet in Sidney Cross' Fast and Sexy series featuring the agency of covert rare operations. Burn, Linda Howard. Are we doing? No. Money changes everything, and in Linda Howard's red-hot novel, the change comes fast and filled with sexy heart suspense. Carnal Sin, we did this last month. This was one of the 70 books we did. Alison Brennan returns with the second novel in her Deadly Sins paranormal series. The fiendish entity Envy is trapped, but LA is now fast becoming the demon's less decent playground. Magnificent Folly, Iris Johansen. Blending romance, suspense, and a touch of paranormal, Iris Johansen delivers the story of a woman who meets the man of her dreams, a stranger who's always watched her from afar. Home Again, the captivating second novel in Mariah Stewart's Chesapeake Diaries, when an actress' charmed life turns into a tabloid nightmare. There you go. The Nocturne Shift Publishers. Readers may have noticed something a little different about the latest Nocturne novels. The paranormal series lines, which started by Silhouette several years ago, moved to Harlequin banner, effective in June. In part, the move was to put paranormal category romances, which have a younger demographic than other series, under the same publishing umbrella as the new Harlequin team. So let's get started. And quite a few of these books, I was like, I have, and then I went to the shelves. I don't have. I was so depressed. Anyways, let's see. Let me keep track so I can write my list for the description, because I've been horrible at it and it's been costing me. So let's do Elissa James and Kiss at Midnight. This is one of the ones I would have sworn I had, but I don't. Elissa James, Kiss at Midnight. 4.5 stars. And most of the books I do here are at least 4 and 4.5. There is an occasional 3, but most of them have at least 4 stars. So if you're looking for a 4-star, I need to start advertising that these are 4 stars or better. This James Fractured Cinderella. There's a horrid stepmother, a spoiled stepsister, dogs known as the Rats, an unconventional prince, and a very intelligent Cinderella named Kate. The delightful tale is as smart, sassy, and sexy as any of her other novels, but here James displays her deliciously wicked sense of humor, captivating her audience. When her stepsister is scratched by her rat, Kate is forced to attend a ball where she meets Prince Gabriel. There is an instant attraction, but Gabriel is to marry a wealthy princess to save his kingdom, while Kate is to go home to a miserable life. Complicating matters is the fact that Gabriel likes his betrothed, though not as much as the sharp-tongued Kate. Then there's Kate's eccentric godmother, a pair of glass, well, not quite slippers, several amazing surprises, that marvelous midnight kiss that could change everything. Okay. And Elizabeth HOYT. Wicked Intentions. 4.5 stars. HOYT uses her gift for reimagining classic fairy tale themes to create a magnificently rendered story that not only enchants but enthralls. With its mesmerizing plot and unforgettable characters, Wicked Intentions will make readers eager for their next Maiden Lane novel. It is rumored that Ghost of St. Giles is guilty of savage murders committed in the slum dark alleys. One of the victims is the mistress of Lazarus Huntington, Lord Clare, and he is determined to find the killer. But he needs help from Prim Temperance Stews, widowed founding home owner. With funds running low, Temperance agrees to help Care in exchange for his assistance in finding a new patron for her home. Their arrangement is a business deal, but the desire between them is impossible to deny as they hunt through St. Giles from gin cellars to brothels, the salons of Mayfair to the dark alleys. They are caught in a treacherous web spun by a mad killer, where every turn leads to murder and every twisting path to sinful desire. This. Tessa Dare. Three Nights with a Scoundrel. There we go. It's a top pick. It's her top pick. 4.5 stars. This last book in the Stud Club trilogy is similar to Dare's previous novels and can be read as a standalone romance, though it's far better to read the entire trilogy. The well-written, fast-paced story, characters of great emotional depth, courage, and passion combine to support an outstanding love story between people of different backgrounds. This book is hard to put down as well as thought-provoking. Julian Bellamy blames himself for the murder of his friend and founder of the Stud Club, Leo Chadwick. He feels compelled to find the killer. Leo's sister Lily has secretly loved Julian and is appalled at the physical and emotional toll Leo's death has taken on him. Even though Julian adores Lily, he believes his background makes him unworthy. Lily reaches out to Julian with a reckless passion to break down his self-imposed barriers, but is her love enough? Yes, ma'am. Victoria DAHL. I know I have that book. I just can't find it. It's trying to be crazy. A Little Bit Wild. Victoria DAHL. Four stars. In her inimitable style, DAHL has written a sharp and sexy romance with a unique blend of original quick story and romantic characters. The delightful fairy tale ending is not unexpected but certainly satisfying. There she is. At nearly 21, Marissa York wants to experience one night of forbidden pleasure. She easily falls prey to Sir Peter White's fine words. When she is discovered in a compromising situation, her brother insists she marry quickly. White's arrogance gets him expelled from the house, but that leaves Marissa with no husband. Family friend Jude Bertrand volunteers to marry Marissa to salvage her reputation. While not classically handsome, he is a duke. Works. And Stewart. Ruthless. Someone told me I have dementia in one of my reviews for my videos. One of my cat ones too, by the way. 4.5 stars. Oh, a scorcher. That means there's lots and lots of sex in there. Hot, steamy sex. 4.5 stars. The House of Rohan series begins with a scintillating, titillating, and wickedly dark sensual tale as Stewart brilliantly draws you in like a black widow spider. Intelligent characters swirl around a beautifully rendered, complex plot. The erotic overtones, one masterfully scene after another, and dark heroes simply add to the delicious story that captures your heart and soul. In an attempt to prevent her mother from gambling away their meager funds, Eleanor Harrington goes to a party hosted by Viscount Francis Rohan. As the heavenly host and chief provocateur, Rohan provides his guests with opportunities to indulge in every level of vice. Innocents like Eleanor have no place in his inferno. Rohan is shocked by his immediate physical reaction to Eleanor and decides to toy with the naive puppet. But his game backfires when he is the one caught in her sweet web. Eleanor doesn't know what to make of the overly sensual magnate Rohan, who offers her pleasure and protection. When she's suddenly the target of unexpected accidents, he begins searching his soul, yes he has one, to uncover his true desires. Mary Wine. Maybe some of these will become your authors, huh? The Betting the Enemy. Right there. 4 stars. Here is the third in Wine's post-Elizabethan series and a spin-off from In Bed with a Stranger. It's a sexually heat-fasted pace brimming with excellent characters set against a lusciously detailed backdrop. Readers will enjoy the sizzle and the history. Vibrant, beautiful Helene Kevett is a pawn of her brother, the soon-to-be Earl of Kenton. His plans on using her to further his interest in court, maneuvering her into a place as the Queen's ladies-in-waiting. Scotsman Care McQuaid has come to London to swear fealty to King James. The instant their eyes meet, they are smitten, but her brother drags Helena away before they can be introduced. Care accepts James' invitation to stay at court, hoping to see Helena. Fortune smiles on him when her brother gambles Helena away in a game of chance, and the king insists that Care wed his prize. Interesting. Alexandra Hawkins. I know I own this book. I can't find it. Till Dawn with the Devil. I know it's over there someplace. I know I saw it. 4.5 stars. Hawkins' latest dark and highly sensual Lords of Vice installment is riveting, filled with mystery and desire, gothic overtones, and grand passions. Here is a tale Victoria Holt would have loved to have written. Hawkins cements her reputation for bringing compelling, unique, and lush romances to fans eager for fresh storytelling. The Lords of Vice cut a swath through the bedrooms and ballrooms of England, but since his wife's mysterious death, none is so feared as Gabriel Rhyme, Housley, Earl of Raincourt. A childhood accident left Lady Sophie Northam eyesight ruined. She cannot see the handsome, cynical man nearby, cannot know to whom she speaks, yet she is drawn by his mocking tone and sadness only she can discern. She plans to keep a distance between them, but he will not allow it. Interesting. Let's see. This Margaret Moore. Highland Rogue London Miss. Yeah. 4 stars. The talented Moore has penned another excellent Regency. The narrative is rich, the dialogue authentic, and the characters entertaining. Esme McCallahan is devoted to her brother and will do anything for him, even if it means helping the woman who jilted him and partnering with her nemesis, the disgraced and disowned Quintus McLachlan. The job requires Esme's legal expertise and Quinn's subterfuge skills so they can impersonate his brother, the Earl of Dungan, and his wife. Their investigation yields unexpected results, but most surprising is the passion between them. Hi. Judith James. Libertine's Kiss. Libertine's Kiss. See if I can do this. There we go. 4.5 stars. Jane's unusual love story is one of emotional impact. While set against a historical backdrop full of turmoil and betrayal, her complex characters are both emotionally ravaged yet highly sensual. William de Vere and Elizabeth Walters were childhood friends separated because of their father's grief. William was sent to school, then joined the military. Elizabeth was forced to marry an abusive man. Years later, they encounter one another under dangerous circumstances, but neither acts as if they recognize each other. 2 years later, when Elizabeth's trying to see the king, William uses his position as the king's board to secure her an appointment. Things heat up from there. And Carol FYFFE. Montana Dawn. Now, I don't know what. When I think of historicals, I think of regencies, I think of London, not Western, but what can you do? 4 stars, and I also think of early 1800s, not 1883, but this is Montana. In the tradition of classic Americana romances, FYFFE crafts a touching and heartwarming Western set against the backdrop of a cattle drive. She can hold her place along Linda Lamb Miller and Catherine Anderson, and I would also suggest Connie Mason along those lines. Cattleman Luke McCutcheon discovers a woman in labor on the Montana prairie and helps the widow bring her baby into the world. Fleeing her husband, a ruthless brother, Faith Brown accepts the stranger's help, even though she realizes a cattle drive is no place for her nephew and her newborn daughter. Okay. Caroline, FYFFE. And our last regency is Jean Weston. The last letter. Right there. The last letter, Elizabeth I and the Earl of Leicester, 4 stars. Basing her novel on the actual letter sent by Robert Dudley to Elizabeth I on the eve of his death, Weston explores the depth of the relationship. This realistic, well-searched portrait of Elizabeth answers questions about her lifelong friendship with Dudley, her sweet Robin, and beloved I. Weston walks a fine line depicting the sweetness and sadness of Elizabeth's middle years, when political turmoil supersedes personal needs. As children, Elizabeth and Dudley are playmates, drawn together by their unusual places in political milieu. Even as youngsters, they understand the dangers inherent in their lives as England changes dramatically due to the merciful moods of Henry VIII. So we'll see what happens there. Okay. So let's move on. Let's just show this real quick. Graphic novels, Old Faye's Return. They are a real dynamic writing couple. Jane Goldman is the writer for Kick-Ass, and her husband, BBC broadcaster Jonathan Ross, who is leaving to the air to follow his passion and create his own comic. Turf is set in the 1920s during Prohibition era. There you go. Laura Lippman. I'd Know You Anywhere. We talked about that a little earlier, right? 4.5 stars. Lippman, known for her Tess Montana mystery series, have ventured into deeper waters with a standalone novel such as The Power of Three, What the Dead Know, and now this fantastic and fascinating read. Although there is some mystery involved, why is Walter contacting Eliza? What does he want? The main power and the force of the novel lies in knowing portraits of characters, both primary and secondary. Lippman also skillfully and subtly shows the quiet devastation that reverberates after a kidnapping. Eliza Benedict, mother of two and suburban housewife, has successfully built a normal life after her abduction in 1986 by Walter Bowman, a serial killer, who held her hostage for 6 weeks. But Walter reaches out to her from death row, where he finally scheduled to be executed. Does he want forgiveness? Will he tell Eliza why he let her live when his other victims were not so fortunate? Check it out. DORI Ostermiller. Outside the Ordinary World. 4.5 stars. Ostermiller grabs you from the first paragraph in this intensely emotional novel. She defiantly weaves together a modern storyline with political writing style, and her characters have a rich depth to them. The true prize is the plumbing of the psychological effects of the modern family life on a relationship with each other. Sylvia's home life was broken and complicated, with her parents constantly at war with each other and sometimes veering into violence and betrayal. Now grown, Sylvia has built a life with her husband and her 2 daughters, but she has really escaped the past or boxed herself up. Her relationship with her husband is strained, her career is stalled, and her children's rewarding behavior barely outweighs her difficult life. Rachel Ayers, Butterfly. Four stars. Here's a interesting look behind the scenes of a talented management, high fashion sports. The characters are interesting and well-rounded, and it's a fascinating look at how the other half lives. 20-year-old Seneca Butterfly Houston is on the verge of realizing many of her dreams. But how high can she fly? Discovered by photographer while she was a college student, Seneca's on a path to superstardom as a runway and print model. But she's never lost sight of who she is or what her ultimate life goals are. Even when the man she encounters don't have her best interest at heart or her family isn't supportive, Seneca plows ahead and makes mistakes, but she is a woman enough to acknowledge those missteps and correct her course. Letitia Lovely, Heaven Forbid, 4.5 stars. When we read about church folks, we expect drama. Lovely adds steamy, fun, sobering, and surprising to the mix. The action, dialogue, and well-crafted characters are so riveting that they'll make your heart race in anticipation of each new scene. No stone is left unturned, no taboo is left untouched. Lovely is destined to become a favorite among phenomenal authors, and she is. When 72-year-old Reverend O comes out of retirement to save a scandal-ridden church, he forgets one thing, his own secrets. His wife, Mama Max, is still fiery enough to confront the hussy whose eyes are set on him. In the meantime, Princess, their granddaughter, wrestles with feelings for her cheating NBA star ex-boyfriend. Another mega preacher, Stan Lee, is threatening by the secret behind the inability to love his wife in the biblical sense. Interesting. That one. Maddie Dawson, our last one. Maybe not our last one. 3 stars. Alright, we'll make it our last one. The Stuff That Never Happened. Dawson's novel has an eloquent writing voice and insightful characters. The story examines the differences between how a marriage appears and how it really is on the inside, and how people change over time. But the story's conflict is based on a misunderstanding that none of the characters talk about. Okay. Annabelle McCary and her husband Grant have a very efficient but emotionally unfulfilling marriage. Their grown children have left home, and an empty nest syndrome has hit them. Grant, a professor in a community college, is completely absorbed in a book he is writing on labor history. When Annabelle goes to New York City to care for her daughter during a complicated pregnancy, she meets a man. Yes. 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 Yes, ma'am. Inspirational. Let's just go through teen. I tried to look for these and I couldn't find any of these. Teen. There you go, teen. We'll go through this a little. The Thin Executioner. Darren Shan, 4.5 stars. Shan's homage to the adventures of Huckleberry Finn is rip-roaring, heartbreaking adventure. You'll be on the edge of your seat until the very last page. Blood Feud, Alexander Harvey, 4.5 stars. What a treat this Drake Chronicles second is just as action-packed and fun as first. Readers will delight as Logan woos the reluctant Isabeau between butt-kicking and coup plotting. Check those out. Inspirational, Tracy Peterson. Twilight Serenade. I think we're gonna have some rain. Four stars. The final book in Peterson's Song of Alaska series ties up loose ends from the previous two books as the characters make hard decisions. The details describing Alaska point a beautiful picture in this reader's mind. Virginia Lindquist has come back to Sitka to figure out whether to accept the position of first chair of violin in England and marry the conductor or stay in Sitka and mourn the lost love of Yuri Bello. When Brittany learns Yuri's wife is about to give birth alone, she knows she must help. I guess she'll be delayed. Yvonne Harris. The Vigilante's Bride. This one here. 4.5 stars. Harris has created cowboy characters and settling that will delight. This uncommon love story will melt your heart and have you applauding her wonderful debut novel. Luke Sullivan just wanted to reclaim money stolen from him, but he ends up kidnapping the woman who was on her way to marry his archenemy. Emily McCarthy was forced to become a mail-order bride because she was too old for orphanage, but she trusts God to watch over her, especially since Sullivan must be the man of her dreams. And Nancy Moser, Masquerade. And that's the other one here. 4 stars. Set in 1885, Masquerade has everything fans of historical romances expect. Romance, laughter, secrets. Charlotte Gleason is a wealthy young lady yearning for something more than her tedious life. When her parents send her to New York to marry, Charlotte switches places with her maid, Dora, on the ship. It becomes a test of survival amid poverty beyond Charlotte's worst nightmares. Dora is living a fairy tale but is tormented by the guilt. There's quite a few books that have the switching. I'm going to have to write that down and do that. Regency is where the characters switch identities. That would be a good one. I'll have to write that down. Science fiction. Diane Duane. Optima Dawn. 4.5 stars. Set in the future, this book shows one direction in which massive multiplayer online games could evolve, and it does it in a way that eschews most of the science fiction cliches that come with sentient computers. Devin Logan is a charming protagonist who is surrounded by a memorable supporting cast, and best of all, this is the first book of a planned series. In the near future, practically everyone plays online games. Duh! And none is more influential or popular than Devin's Ommapia, a truly massive and multiplayer game experience, told from the perspective of several major and minor characters during the days prior to a major upgrade to the system. R.A. Salvatore, the bear. 4 stars. Salvatore is amazing when it comes to world building, and this is World of Harness. He has been playing in 4 books and gets richer with each novel. The lines he draws for diplomacy and war are intricate and detailed. The characters are personal to the reader as ever, and conclusion is satisfying. The War of Harness is raging with the foppish Prince Yelsky at the helm of Devil City, and Dame Gwen of Vanguard as his rival. The church is splitting with factions on each side, and it will fall to Lord Bangham the Bear to fix it. The last page, Anthony Husso. And this guy just fell. Only 3 stars. We'll just go through this quickly. The rich narrative combined with a unique mathematically attuned structure for shaping magic is savvy readers for any science fiction fantasy. The brilliant narrative is slightly marred, however, by a character dialogue that tends to the unnecessary vulgar. Okay, we'll leave it at that. I'm sorry, we got there. I usually stick with 4 stars. Okay. Romantic suspense. We don't have too many of these. Maggie Shane, Kill Me Again. The one in the middle. 4.5 stars. Amnesia, a gorgeous guy, a beautiful woman, murder, mayhem, and past lives can make for a pretty routine storyline, unless it's in the hands of a first-class writer like Shane. She's got a golden touch for this kind of plot. It's action-adventure with weary wit, charm, and a dose of rocketeering suspense that will have the reader speeding through the pages to the stunning conclusion. When 2 teenagers stumble across a wounded man in a desert field, English professor Olivia Dupree's life takes a dramatic and dangerous turn. Called to the hospital when her card turns up in the man's pocket, Olivia wonders if the gorgeous amnesiac could have actually been the reclusive author R.N. Westhaven. If so, why would anybody want to kill him? Cynthia Eden. I went the wrong way. Deadly Fear. It is freezing. Deadly Fear. 4 stars. Eden has a unique writing voice that's demonstrated effectively here. It's a tense, disturbing, and dark and fantastical type plot that keeps the pages turning with breakneck speed as readers through the characters become locked in a battle. FBI agent Monica Davenport is a criminal profiler. She can put herself in the mind of a killer because she's been up close and personal with one of the most notable serial killers of all time, Romeo. She survived and has spent her life putting away other serial killers. Keeping people at distance is the only way she feels safe even after all these years. But fellow agent Luke Dante seems to penetrate her well-built walls. Neither can deny the love they have more than a sexual chemistry. Intense and hot and urgent when they assign to the watchman, a serial killer who uses what his victims fear most to kill them. Interesting. It's cold, and the sky has fallen. D. Davis, Desperate Deeds. Desperate Deeds. This is 4 stars. This novel is delightfully consistent with Davis's previous books. Dialogue rich, Desperate Deeds is the perfect weekend novel or vacation read. The fast-paced story takes you through an intriguing game of cat and mouse as the protagonists solve the crime, save the world, and of course fall in love. Tyler Hansen makes a mistake and 2 soldiers end up dead. Drinking to numb the pain, she finds sexy Owen Wakefield in the bar. Good at keeping people at arm's length, Tyler seduces Owen to find him at her ATAC office weeks later. He's assigned to help her find the hijackers who killed the soldiers, and they uncover a dangerous plot to build and use nuclear weapons. Unfortunately, Owen isn't who he seems to be. In fact, he's hired to find out who inside the ATAC team is a traitor. Oops. Brendan Novak. White Heat. 4 stars. There it is, White Heat. And it's Brenda. This page-turning suspense in Novak's trilogy starter intensifies as Department 6 security team exposes a dangerous cult. Novak's characters show a handful of leaders can manipulate other people to achieve their own ends through a self-made religion. Although the sexual activity between the main character is limited, there are some rather graphic descriptions. Ooh. Rachel's undercover assignment to pretend to be married to her boss, Nate, creates all sorts of tension. First, there's the danger of infiltrating a religious cult in the remote Arizona desert, where a charismatic leader may be fostering drug use, sexual abuse, and possible murder. Second, being the cult resurrects bad memories of Rachel's upbringing under her strict father and this cult-like religious beliefs. Okay. Oh, I hope I don't lose electricity. Heather Graham, Ghost Knight. I don't know why I wrote that down. It's not even here. Oh, wait a minute. Swept Aside, Sharon Shallow, 4.5 stars. Kill Me Again, Maggie Shane, 4.5 stars. Shadows at Midnight, Elizabeth Jennings, 4.5 stars. Virtually Hers, Janita Lowe. I know I have this book someplace. Janita Lowe. Hot. Lowe's loyal fans will be thrilled to learn that the long-awaited second book in her virtual Super Soldier Spy trilogy has finally been released. While this book can stand alone, to get the true flavor of the unique story arc, it is advisable to read Virtually His first. Having proved herself a uniquely valuable tool in assembled counterintelligence, remote viewer and COS agent Helen Hell Raskin is determined to prove her anonymous training aids is none other than legendary agent Jed McNeil. The serum and virtuality world that help Helen violate her mind for remote viewing has the side effect of creating both headaches and enhanced libido. Okay. Sound to Die By. Right there. 4 stars. This journey into the world of undercover agent trying her best to fit in with an all-male team is a fast-paced story that will have you holding your breath. Not only is the story jam-packed with action and suspense, but the 2 main characters are a true team. Agent Kaylin Beckett has tried her best to solve the case of women being sold into slavery, using every technique and reporter friend she has at her disposal. Kaylin skirts around the law searching for answers. Soon she's outside the door of Ian Cabrera. Okay. And I still haven't found the... Oh, I remember now. It was one of the few times they did it to be continued. All right. And why... if a book is a paranormal, why is it in suspense? I don't get it, but it is. Alright, there it is. Heather Graham, Ghost Night. Alright. 4 stars. Book 2 of the Bone Island trilogy is romantic suspense with a capital S. Graham fully develops her characters and weaves the supernatural with the real to create a story that's believable. Writer Vanessa Lauren is filming a low-budget horror movie on the remote Hunt Island, just southward of Bimini. The crew is wrapping up filming when 2 actors, Georgia Adair and Travis Glenn, are murdered. The bodies and severed heads pose next to each other in the sand. The killings remain unsolved, and 2 years later, Vanessa is looking for closure. Okay? Alright, on to mystery. Did I even do... Nope. Okay, on to mystery. Excuse me a minute. Okay. Now, where was I? Oh, I tried to look for some of these. Let's see. Carol Nelson Douglas, Cat in an Ultramarine Scheme. And if you do the if then on Fridays, you will see a cat if then. If books by the point of view of the cat, there was quite a few of them. Or books that have cats as co-hosts or cohorts or whatever. 4.5 stars. Some long-running mystery series become stale and predictable after 15 installments. Nelson's 21st Midnight Louis tale is just as twisty, riveting, and intriguing as the ones that come before. Even longtime fans of the series are bound to say, wow, I never saw that coming. When Temple Bar's fiancé, ex-priest Matt, leaves for a business trip to Chicago, the plucky PR expert has her hands full promoting the idea of museum devoted to organized crime under her beloved Crystal Phoenix Hotel. One open mobster vault and a murdered magician later, Temple must rely on Midnight Louis and his relative's cat pack to help solve the mystery. If only Mac hadn't been killed, she could use some of his elusive tricks. There, let me just... Oh, Nelson Douglas. I Nevada Bar Burn. Four and a half stars. Barr not only has crafted a fine mystery, but her smooth handling of plot and characterization makes for an excellent reading. Anya Pigeon managed to handle the depth of human depravity without losing her own humanity, and yet, as humans do, she quavers as she walks the fine line. National Park Service Ranger Anna Pigeon is in New Orleans undercovering from her latest adventure when she stumbles onto a new one involving a woman sought for murder. A thriving pedophile market, violence, and corruption. At the same time, Anna has her suspicions about her friend's tenant, who may have criminal tendencies, and she discovers what life appears to be an attempt to curse on her life. Okay. And FAYE KELLERMAN, 4.5 stars. The Hangman. The importance of family, or at least non-psycho family, in front and center in Kellerman's later Decker Lazarus mystery. The evolution of characters and relationships has been a key factor in the continuing success of this long-running series by adding realism to clever mystery plots. At times, plot heartbreaking and chilling, this is a most excellent read. Over the years, LAPD Lieutenant Peter Decker's life has occasionally intersected with alleged New York hitman Chris Donati. This time, it's Chris's wife, Terry McLaughlin, who wants Peter's help in defusing the ramifications of a physical fight between the couple. Things appear to go as planned until Peter gets a call from the couple's 14-year-old son, Gabe. Both his mother and father have disappeared. Okay. And, one of my new series that we'll be doing, we have done some of these anyway. Lorna Barrett, Chapter in Earth. 4 stars. In Barrett's newest Booktown mystery, bookseller Tricia Miles is stunned when her sister's boyfriend is involved in a deadly explosion that changes the landscape of downtown Stoneham, New Hampshire forever. Great pacing and enjoyable characters enhance this mystery, which includes many red herrings and suspects will keep readers guessing. Mystery store owner Tricia Miles is excited for her sister, who just published her first cookbook. However, the book launch party has a disappointing tenor. Fuming at her sister fiance's absence, Tricia leads to the local history bookstore to give him a piece of her mind. On her way over, an explosion rips the store, injuring Bob and killing the owner, Jim Roth. Was the explosion an accident or was it really murder? Reluctantly, Tricia's sister Angelica embarks on the book tour, leaving Tricia to oversee her diner and cookery and to check up on Bob. Although her plate is full, Tricia to investigate motives for Jim's murder. Her efforts are hampered by stalking ex-boyfriend Angela's shady employees and Jim's mother, who is acting glad that her son is gone. And Tricia Angelica is the owner of LOUCINDA. I forget. LOUCINDA. It's the girl's name spelled backwards. And I forget the Miles is her cohort. Jenny, the elderly guy that cleans the stuff. And her new clerk that comes in later on, who likes the old clothes. I love this series. Angelica received it's gonna haunt me now that I forgot this. But I love this series. We'll have to. I'll be doing it again as the books come out. There's a new one coming out in a month or so, and we'll do this. And now these books have skyrocketed. These books, you couldn't keep these on the shelves way back when. The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. 4 stars. First, the bad news. The final book of the Millennium Trilogy originally intended as a 10-book series before Larson's untimely death. The series is still going on. They're still writing it. There's still ghostwriters doing it. Or not so ghostwriters. I think it's his kids. The weakest of the narrative feels a little too complicated, repetitive, and bloated, particularly in its The good news is it's utterly unputdownable, a walloping good story. Its biggest flaw is that Lisbeth Salamander is not as forceful a presence as she is in the previous 2 books. Though while it is disheartening not to see her in action, it is equally heartening to see as many others take up her cause. Furthermore, what the novel lacks in Salamander brand justice, it more than makes up for in the story of Millennium Editor-in-Chief Erica Bergen, who struggles with both violent stalker and corporate fraud at her new job. These are still, people are still reading these today. On a daily basis, they're reading those books. Okay, so now a quick romp through contemporary romance. Carly Phillips, Kiss Me If You Can. Kiss Me If You Can. 4.5 stars. This one of Phillips' best, a lighthearted, fast-moving plot filled with her signature quirky characters. The book also shows depth of heart, outlining some of the choices we make that perhaps could use a second look. Sam Cooper usually sticks to reporting about crime, but not foiling it. When he thwarts a jewel thief's plans, the grateful store owner gives him a ring as a thank you, and the city votes him most eligible bachelor as its bachelor blog. So when Lexi Davis approaches him, he thinks it's another come-on, but Lexi is interested in the ring, not the guy. The ring just happens to match a necklace her grandmother wears all the time. Interesting. This lady's all over the place. Very, very popular. KRISTAN Higgins, All I Ever Wanted. Very popular author. Very popular. 4.5 stars. Higgins has a special talent for quirky character. Readers love spending time with. Callie Gray and Ian McFarlane are two enchanting and delightful characters. The small-town Vermont location is so vibrantly drawn, it almost seems real. Callie is a die-hard romantic with a serious crush on her boss, Mark Russo. Though he's dumped her, she still has high hopes that he'll come to his senses. Okay. And LUCINDA MCCARY. There's a bigger picture of Butterfly. We did that earlier. Why did I say? Oh, the Wild Irish Sea. Right there. And apparently, there we go. There's a bigger picture. 4 stars. Can the bond of love truly cross the ocean? In McCrary's richly drawn novel, the mystery will keep the pages turning. A desperate call from her twin brother awakens Amber O'Neill from a sound sleep and propels her to Ireland's wilder coast and straight into the arms of local Inspector Kevin Hennessy. So we'll see what happens there. Okay. Alright. Lord. I really outdid it this time too, didn't I? Eve Silver. Sins of the Heart. 4.5 stars. Make sure you set aside plenty of reading time as the hugely talented Silver is launching a dark and delicious supernatural trilogy. I seem to be missing one. I need to get the third. Set to be released over 3 consecutive months, the hot new saga will explore the lives of the Soul Reaper, sons of Gadesh. Dagan Krail is a half-human, half-god son of Sutek, and his 3 brothers are Soul Reapers. When Dragon's youngest brother Lakin is murdered and his soul disappears, the rest of the brothers vow revenge. They must move swiftly if they have any hope of resurrecting Loki. Okay. Waterbound. I have 2 copies of this book. Yeah. So which color do you like better? Carpathian herself. 4.5 stars. The always brilliant Feehan launches an offshoot series from her recently completed Drake Sisters saga. In the Sea Haven stories, elements of nature will be a key focus, along with the exciting combination of mystery, danger, and magic. In Ricky Sitmore, Fian is created an inspiring heroine who faces the challenges of autism. While driving for sea urchins, Ricky is hit by a rogue wave and discovers a man deep in the swells of the currents. Ricky rescues the wounded man who has large gaps in his memory. The one thing Levi knows is that he must not be discovered alive. Ricky takes Levi to the property she shares with her 5 sisters of the heart. Eternal Kiss of Darkness. 4.5 stars. It will take a special heroine to match up to the Amatic Master Vampire Merchantess, and thankfully the uber talented Frost is just the woman of mind in this second spin-off from the best-selling Hunter series. After losing the ability to see the future, ancient Egyptian vampire Mencius assumes his long life will be soon end. So he has made Bones the co-ruler of his line. Mencius' nemesis Radif is closing in and a final showdown looms. But all of Mencius' plans are blown out of the water when he is rescued from a pack of ghouls by Chicago PI Kara Graceling. Okay. Captured by Moonlight, Nancy Gideon. Award-winning Gideon brings her darkly compelling Shapeshifter trilogy to a high-stakes finale. These lovers have much to overcome, including their own self-sabotaging traits. Gideon adds new clues and layers to her world while placing her protagonist in terrible danger. New Orleans detective Cece Casey is undertaking the inevitable task of trying to bring her relationship with Max Salvatore into the open. Because of Max's crime ties, her fellow officers, including her partner Alan Bebo, are less than receptive. The discovery of a murder victim who is one of Max's people brings Max and Cece worlds into a collision. Okay. Alexis Morgan, Untamed Warrior. Dark Warrior Untamed. Morgan continues with her rich world building in this third in the Italian series, complete with a strong and clever revenge plot entwined deeply with politics. Piper isn't surprised when Glenn Denby is less than welcoming when he finds her in his office. Right from the get-go, the two sparring. Sharing an office has its perks if he doesn't dig too deep into her secrets. Greyhill Danby is warned to protect the Great Dane. He also charged with making sure she earned her title legitimately. Okay. Sherry Adair. Black Magic. Four stars. Adair's version of Wizards and Magic makes a much welcome return in a hot new adventure that brings the strange lovers back into contact. This book stands on its own just fine, but for a fuller experience, it helps to have been previously read the other books. Wizards Jackson Slater and Sarah Temple share passion, but were broken apart by a misunderstanding or wizard manipulation. A horrible disease appears to be affecting wizards, stealing their powers and killing them. Okay. When Sarah's surrogate father succumbs and turns murderous, geologist Jack inadvertently teleports to her side. The evidence indicates that a power long thought to be extinct is rising once more. The Wizard Council needs Jack and Sarah to investigate. The snake-like Omnivex have returned to gain power. Okay, I want to. There. Okay. Total Eclipse, Rachel Kane. She did all the weather books. They were all based on weather. 4.5 stars. After 9 amazing books, Kane delivers the heart-stopping finale in the adventures of Western warden Joanne Baldwin. A longtime fans know Joanne is a never-say-die fighter, and regrettably she is going to need every ounce of that nerve in this climactic novel. As a result of defeating a longtime enemy and saving the world, Joanne and her husband David discover they have lost all their powers. Even more frightening is the realization that the earth has been poisoned and the Djinn are dying. The delicate balance of nature is devolving into chaos, and Mother Earth is waking up. So it's up to them to fix it. Rachel. Yes, excellent vacation. 4.5 stars. Even supernatural creatures go on vacation, and reading about them is an excellent way to spend your time at this beach. Satisfaction is guaranteed in 13 fantastical stories by some of the genre's most talented writers. The collection starts with 2 blondes, a new Sookie Stackhouse story from Harris. The Boys Go Fishing by Sarah Smith is a story about 8 immortals. Pirate Dave's Haunted Amusement by Kellner has a first-person werewolf vampire dynamic. One for the Money by Jean Frost is a cat and bone story. Little Same Crow, The Heart is Always Right, focuses on a gargoyle. Kate McAllister's The Pearls of Elfin features the demon Jim from the Dragon books. And Home from America by Shannon Newman is about a group of American leprechauns. So check it out. The Waking Witch, Kelly Armstrong. There's 4.5 stars. And I kept looking at my books, and this book didn't pop up. And I kept looking at my books going, I have this, and it never popped up. From an early Armstrong Outstanding Otherworld series, young Savannah Levine has a scene still. At last, Savannah takes center stage in the first books, focusing on her adventures. Part detective story, part coming-of-age tale, Waking the Witch showcases Armstrong's unique ability to blend dark drama and gripping suspense. As the daughter of a dark witch and even darker source for both deceased, Savannah knows the supernatural world keeps an eye on her. With her adoptive parents off on a much-deserved vacation, 20-year-old Savannah is in her mind her private investigation. Savannah jumps at taking her first solo case and heads to Columbus, Washington to investigate the deaths of several young women in what might be a supernatural twist. Trent Jameson, Death Most Definite. Ooh, he's Australian. This highly enjoyable debut from Australian writer Jameson. The world building is complicated and interesting. The descriptions of the world under are fantastic. Stephen D. Selby helps the spirits of the restless dead pass from our world to the next. Death's big business, you see, and he's doing his job as a psycho chomp. But when he's shot at a shopping mall, the only viable source of help is a recently dead lease. He's in over his head. Okay. Jerry Smith ready. Bring on the night. Right there. Smith Ready brings back her unique blend of vampires and rock and roll in the third WVMP radio book exploring the life of Clara Griffin in this high-stakes chapter. Smith Ready makes sure life gets a lot more complicated and dangerous for her former carp artist heroine. The author does an excellent job of providing a story packed with complicated offbeat humor and believable characters. In order for her vampire boyfriend Shane to be allowed by the government to keep in touch with his human family, Sierra has agreed to work for the Control, the agency that monitors them. Sierra survived training, but she is not thrilled with her assignment to Immense Corp. Okay. Alright. Let's get some Harley Quinn. And I need to write these down. Alright. Cassie Miles. Harlequin Intrigue. Lock, Stock, and Secret Baby. Casey Miles, Lock, Stock, and Secret Baby by Casey Miles. Eve Weathers may be a math whiz, but her brilliant mind often eclipses her social abilities, and now she's running for her life. To protect her unborn baby, at her side and sworn to protect her, Blaze Jensen has returned from his Special Forces assignment to investigate her father's murder and unravel secrets, one of which is that Blake and Eve were part of an in vitro super babies program. Okay. Helen Brooks. Sweet Surrender with the Millionaire. Morgan Wright rescues his new neighbor Willow Langdon from setting her home aflame twice, but it's the sparks between them that pose the real danger. Willow's heart is healing from an abusive marriage, and the last thing she needs is to risk it with a confirmed bachelor by Morgan. Twice the Temptation, Cara Summers. Harlequin Blaze. Twice the Temptation, 4 stars by Cara Summers. In Playing with Reese, a matchmaking ghost helps TV cooking show Reese Brightham turn her producer hard-to-please Mike Davies into a boy toy for the weekend while at Hayworth Hotel. But the arrival of her ex threatens to shatter Reese's fantasy in saving Bree. CIA ex-agent Cody Mara must protect lounge singer Bree Sullivan before she testifies at a mobster trial. Okay. Cara Summers. Brenda Jackson, Story of His Heart. 4.5 stars. Ethan Chambers leaves the family business to pursue acting and wins a leading role on a medical drama where he meets his leading lady for life, Rachel Wellesley. As the makeup artist and clothing designer for the show, Rachel is driven to prove that her success is born out of hard work and not her family's influence in the entertainment industry. Catherine Mann and Emily McKay, Winning It All. Wild child Vanessa Hughes has just discovered she was adopted. The only father she's ever known may be dying, and she's pregnant by the absolutely wrong man. A year ago, polo player Nicholas Valera broke enough of spoiled Vanessa and broke things off. But a chance meeting in the sports club sauna led to more. Now her unexpected pregnancy could put his career at risk and her father's health. Man pulls together opposites to strike sparks with pregnant with the playboy. A splendid story of growth. When a compromising photo of the hedge funder Connor Stone and the last good girl in America, Brittany Haynes, the senator's daughter, heats up the tabloids, Connor tries to do the right thing. Let's see what happens. Protective custody, Lynette. Right there. Lynette Eason. The death threat Judge Nicholas Floyd receives mentions the niece and nephew who've been in his care since the death of his sister and wife in a car accident. Deputy U.S. Marshal Carly Masterson is assigned to their protection, a job she would rather not have. She blames Nick for the death of her friend and mentor. Yet Carly would give her life to protect Nick and his children. So that's about it. Let me just, I'll forget. I gotta be able to put these in the description. So we've done probably 30 or 40 books. I'll do a final count when I wrap this up. Oh, there is one. I thought there was one. All right, wait a second. Oh, I'm not going to run upstairs to get this, but Passionate Pleasures, Beatrice Small. If we've done the Sky O'Malley stuff, after she finished with all the Sky O'Malley sagas, Beatrice Small went a little on the light side. And I mean, books on sex. Completely 100% sex. Passionate, it's women who watch TV and get this shit. Alright, Small delivers a marvelously sexy story that develops into a woman's erotic fantasies with a delightful approach that's smart, sassy, and definitely sizzling. But what Small does best is they add a hint of humor, a touch of whimsy with Lucifer Nicholas himself, and best of all, a great love story. Catherine St. John is a typical small-town librarian with a scandal-free life, except for her secret. She subscribes to the channel, a woman-only cable network that allows viewers to fulfill their sexual fantasies. For Catherine, it's the literary heroes like all three musketeers who are her lovers. She immerses herself in work and Chanel until Egret paints new middle school principal Timothy Blair stops at the library. Timothy is overwhelmingly attracted to Catherine, and though he's a few years younger, he wants to pleasure her every way he can imagine. Catherine's unwilling to give up the channel and control of her fantasies, but Tim convinces her to go on a date, which leads to another. Okay. Megan Hart, Naked. Naked is a great 4.5 stars. Naked is a great story steeped in emotion. Hart has a wonderful way with characters as she delivers fan favorite Alex story. She conveys their thoughts and actions in a manner that brings them to life. This is the MM book. Doesn't look like an MM book. It's a Menage book. Laurie Barton, Laurie Lee. Naughty Wild. Oh, might as well do it. 4 stars. These two authors prove once again why they are at the top of the erotic genre. These motorcycle-themed novellas, complete with stories, not just chopped-up sex scenes with minimal dialogue. Burton's story especially is put together massively. It's a job well done. Okay, we've gone out a little much. Don't forget your loose ID and your sirens. And don't you miss the book conventions? Oh, good Lord. And there you have it. We have finished our August 2010 book reviews. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're still there. I hope you'll hit the like and subscribe. I work really hard on these. I do all these books. We had a few moments earlier this morning. The rain has stopped. It rained the entire video. Now it's all done. So I hope you have a good day. Thank you.